पुण्डरीकं विरजं विशुद्धं विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकम् अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपम् शिवं प्रशान्तममृतं ब्रह्मयोनिम् Pundarikam Madhye, in the middle of the heart. Madhye, in the middle. Middle means here within the heart. Pundarikam Madhye means within the heart. Yeah, the Hrit of the meditator, the heart of the meditator, which is likened to a Pundarikam, which looks like a Pundarikam, a lotus bud. And within that heart there is this space, still comparable to the thumb space. And within that space, the Chidabhasa is said to be available for meditation. Even though the Chidabhasa and even the Manaha, even the mind, which is the Manomaya, Kosha, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, they are said to pervade the entire body, not just located in the heart alone or the brain, but the mind is said to pervade the entire Sharira. But for the sake of meditation, one looks upon in the space in the heart, wherein the Chidabhasa is manifest, and then Chidabhasa, the truth of Chidabhasa, Chit also is meditated upon. That is the Hrit Pundarikam. Then, when one meditates, one invokes the heart as Virajam, which is free from the stains, the impurities. We saw this Viraja. So, when there is Rajas is seen as the hetu, the cause for all turbulence within, distractions, then unsteadiness, then even all greed, avarice, etc. These are all the effects of the Rajoguna. All the disturbances within, restlessness within, frustration, these are all the effects of Rajas. When it is said Virajam, then it means that mind which is steady, free from the buffeting, free from the distractions caused by all these, by Raga, Dvesha, etc. A steady mind. Viraja means staying free from impurity, that is one meaning. And as a result of freedom from impurity is a mind which is steady. Virajam. Then Vishuddham. Vishuddham means pure. A pure heart. This is what the meditator keeps invoking. Whenever the person meditates, the person keeps invoking. That is, I am Viraja, I am Vishuddha, Ityadi. Like that. One invokes that. Vichintya, dwelling on that. Dwelling on what? That is going to be said later. In the middle of the heart, which is Virajam, which is free from impurity, and Vishuddham, which is pure, may one think upon, meditate upon, Vichintya, dwelling upon, meditating upon, contemplate upon. So the heart, the mind of the person is the basic instrument with which one meditates, is the instrument of meditation. The meditation dhyanam is defined as a manasa vyapara, a mental activity. There is physical activity like going, walking, etc. Then doing puja, etc. Physical activity is there. Then there is oral activity, talking, singing, chanting, aloud. These are all oral activities are there. Whereas Dhyanam is purely a manasa vyapara, purely a mental activity. And for that, mind is the only instrument, the core instrument. The steadiness of body, etc. are a prerequisite or a help. Even the breathing, steady breathing, these are all help for Dhyanam. But Dhyanam per se involves the mind, it's a mental activity. Manasa vyapara. Then, meditate upon what? What is the object of meditation? We have this twofold meditation, two ways, two broad divisions of meditation, two kinds of meditation we can say. One is Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma, Brahma with gunas, attributes. This Saguna Brahma is seen variously, is presented in the Shastra also in various forms with various names. Even one form like Mahavishnu, Narayana, if you see, has thousands of names. We have Vishnu Sahasranama, one form having 1,000 names. And there can be thousands of forms. Relevant, appropriate forms indicating Ishvaratva, the omniscience, omnipresence, etc. that is indicated. Appropriate forms. Now, this itself, this Saguna Brahma itself, we have in this dhyana itself. One is the Sakara. Akara means form. Saguna, Sakara, Brahma. Sagunam, like Mahavishnu, and Akara, having a form, like with the four hands, etc., etc. Shankha Chakra, holding Shankha and Chakra, Gada, lotus, etc. This is the Sakara Rupa, Akara form, formful. Even though Ishvara does not have any form per se, but for the sake of invocation, for the sake of prayer, for the sake of meditation, puja, etc., right? There is a form is kalpita by Shastra. By Shastra it is kalpita. By Rishis it is kalpita, a relevant form. Even though a form is kalpita, always the Shastra that enjoins the form, gives the form, takes care to point out that this is not the final form. Don't conclude that God looks like this alone. This is a form. You transcend the form. You go beyond the form also. It can be seen as a symbol representing Ishvara. So, don't get lost in the symbol as the truth, but go beyond the symbol. Look beyond that. This is what popularly called as transcendence. You transcend the form. Right? It's you look, you understand, you see beyond the form, you look beyond the form, right? That is you see what is more than, what is behind the form, you see that you transcend. Okay, done. Yeah. That's why in the Sahasranama itself you see Shankha Chakra Gadadhari, Dwaraka, Nilayachita, Govinda, Pundarikaksha, etc. names are there. But at the same time, it says Achintya, Avikari, etc. Avikari, Shuddha, all these names are also there. The names indicating the transcendental nature of Ishvara. Ishvara himself is Paramartha, is to be taken as Paramartha. Many people try to bring Ishvara down to Vyavaharika level, then we get into problems. We are trying to fit Ishvara in the Vyavaharika framework, then we get into problems, lot of problems. Where is Ishvara, right? Is he old or young? And then, now I am saying he, then a question comes, is Ishvara male? Is God a man? Is God a male or female? Some are very categorical. God is definitely male, they say. Some people say that, as if they have seen God with their own eyes, and then gender classification. God is definitely male. Some people say that. It's all. The word Ishvara is masculine, that's all. Ishvaraha in Sanskrit language, Ishvaraha, the Padam, the word is masculine, but masculine or feminine belongs to Sharira, belongs to body, not to the Atma Vastu. So, when we try to bring down Ishvara to Vyavaharika level, we will get into certain difficulties. But if we take care that we transcend that, there is no problem. This Vyavaharika form, Vyavaharika name, right, and all vibhutis, etc., which we transcend, then there is no problem. If we assign Paramarthikatvam to the names and forms, then we get into difficulties. Clashes will be there. Your God, my God, superior God, inferior God, true God, false God, right? One God, many gods, lot of problems, lot of issues. Whereas the Sakara, the formful, is only a Kalpita, it is for the sake of meditation. Like Krishna, the form that we observed this yesterday, Krishna Janmashtami. So it's a form, Kalpita form it is for Parameshwara. He is here for us to relate. The formful, to relate with the formful, it's not possible for everyone to relate with it meaningfully. To invoke the prayerful person in one, one needs to relate in terms of saying, praying to Ishvara, in terms of offering what best one can do and all that. No? So for that, suppose you are there and then I can give you something. I can give you a chocolate, I give you and all that I can do. I can take from you, etc., etc. It's all possible. But suppose in thin air, I am offering flowers. So it's a very subtle, and then it's difficult for me to relate with the formless entity in the beginning. Therefore, the form is Kalpita, Sakara, Saguna. And in that we have Ishtadevata is there, one's own, the form which one likes, which one is familiar with, like Rama, Krishna, all these forms are there. That's also Sagunam Brahma. And then there is this Saguna, all right, but Nirakara. Saguna, Nirakara, Brahma. Sagunam, all right, but Nirakara, formless. Like when we say omniscient, omnipresent, right? Omnipotent, when we say, there is no particular form. Vibhu, when we say Ishvara, when we say no particular form. It's formless, Nirakara. But we see the vibhutis like omniscience, etc., they are all gunas. They are attributes given, but formless. Saguna, Nirakara. One goes from Saguna Sakara to Saguna Nirakara, one transcends, one grows. Usually. Here in that, this meditation usually takes the form of Upasana. It takes Saguna Brahma Upasana, Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyapara. Takes the form of Upasana, meditation, Dhyanam, all right. Then, in that meditation, along with that, we say, the Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha, we say. The flow, Pravaha, the flow of Vritti, the thought processes, meditations, which are Sajatiya, belong to the similar kind. Similar, not one thought, but similar thoughts maybe. If one has one thought for a length of time, okay. But then, even if one has Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha, similar thoughts are like, even suppose I visualize Krishna or Mahavishnu in my mind when I meditate, when I do dhyana, then I look upon Ishvara's, Mahavishnu's hands, and then I look at the Shankara, visualize the chakra, etc. And then the lotus feet I visualize, all that, and then the Kamala Aksha, the lotus-like eyes, all that I look. That's all Sajatiya Vritti. And then I say Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, mantras I chant. Or simply Kesava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, I say. These are all Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. And in that process, if there are Vijatiya thoughts which are not contributory, rather distracting, unproductive, unconnected, distracting thoughts are there, then I deliberately keep them away. As and when they arise, I keep them away. I just brush them aside. Vijatiya Pratyaya Nirantarita, without antarita, without the interference of Vijatiya thoughts, Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha, Manasa Vyapara. This is Dhyanam. And in that process, there are three elements required. One is Nairantarya, it's a regularity, it's a continuously for a length of time, for some days or weeks or months, I need to do regularly. That Nairantarya, Dirghakala, for a length of time. Dirghakala, Nairantarya, Dirghakala, I may need to for quite a length of time. People ask question, how long one should meditate? How many days should I meditate? How many days you meditate? As many days as you have to breathe, as many days as you have to eat. Those many days, enough only. If you meditate only for those days, enough. Don't have to do for more than that. As many days as you breathe, you just meditate. So simple. Lifelong. That is the question of how long I should do, how long should I go on breathing. Okay. Lifelong you do, so do think on that. Dirghakala, Nairantarya, continuously. No, lifelong I meditated. First day of my life meditated, the last day of my life I meditated. Lifelong, that won't help much. So regularly, Nairantarya, Dirghakala, Nairantarya. And then learn that Adara, a commitment also. Discover a commitment. These three factors. Dirghakala, Nairantarya, Adarena, with Adara, with a commitment. Then Vijatiya Pratyaya, you suspend. As and when they come, you brush aside, you keep moving, come back to the Sajatiya Vritti, bringing the mind back, right, to Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha on Saguna Brahma. This is the Dhyanam. This generally precedes, this is a part of one's the Chitta Shuddhi, Upasana, the meditation. Dhyana gives Chitta Shuddhi in addition to Chitta Ekagrata, the capacity to stay, of the mind to stay with something big, something important, something closely connected to the Paramapurushartha, focus, attentiveness. Right? This is the Ekagrata, Chitta Ekagrata, one-pointedness, focus, an ability to concentrate on something which is important, on something which is formless, right? Formless, therefore we need a mind to stay. Mind can catch on. The other day we saw mind, it's easier for the mind to jump from one formful to another formful, associative thinking. But for the mind to stay with Nirakara, a formless entity, which may not seem to be of immediate relevance for the person to begin with. So therefore, for the mind to stay with the Nirakara, the capacity to stay is important. Therefore, the Upasana gives them this concentration, the ability to stay with meditation also. Chitta Shuddhi also, Ekagrata also. Both are the results. Okay. Then, generally, this meditation generally precedes the Sadhana Chaturthaya Sampatti. Generally. There may be, I say generally, there are exceptions, there may be exceptions. Before the practice of Sadhana Chaturthaya Sampatti, one may take to Upasana meditation. What we see in ordinary households in India, you may see the people perform puja every day morning, sit and chant, etc. you can still see. These are all before the sadhana chaturta sampatti and then before shravana, etc. When one takes to sadhana chaturta sampatti, that is the mukshutva, jijñāsatva, one takes to, and then one takes to shravana, etc., then the quality of the meditation, or to say the focus, the object of meditation undergoes a change here. That is to say, the object becomes different. What is the object here? Atma, Brahman. Atman, Brahman is the Vishaya here. In Nididhyasanam, it is not Swarupa, Sakara Dhyanam generally, it is Nirakara. At the same time, Nirguna also. Nirguna, Nirakara, Brahma, Atma Dhyanam. This is the Swarupa Dhyanam, in other words. Swarupa Dhyanam, Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa Dhyanam. This is Nididhyasanam here. This is qualitatively different. This is followed by Shravana, generally. One may take to the other form, the first form of meditation also, even as one is doing Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, one may continue that. There is nothing wrong. But then, after Shravanadi, this Nirakara, Nirguna Brahma, Nirguna Ishvara, Nirguna Atma Dhyanam, this is the primary Dhyanam. This is qualitatively different. Here, as we see here, both are mentioned in these mantras. That is Nirguna Nirakara, Saguna Nirakara, and then Saguna Sakara. All the three are mentioned in these mantras, as we are going to see. Nirguna Nirakara, Achintyam, Avyaktam, etc. Nirguna Nirakara form is given. Then Uma Sahayam, etc. Saguna Sakara, Ananta, Vibhu, etc. Saguna Sakara also. Saguna Nirakara also is given. All the three are very beautifully combined here, mentioned here. Okay. So, Vichintya, meditating upon Ishvara, Brahma, Atma, is meditating upon this. All are one here. There is no distinction drawn here. All are one. Ishvara is Brahman, Brahman is Atman, and therefore all the three are equivocally they are taken to Atma Swarupa. Viraja, Vishuddha, etc. can refer to Atma also, Brahman also. Okay. Vichintya, dwelling upon, meditating upon. Okay. Now, let us see the commentary a little bit and then continue. Commentary on this. Anantaram. Thereafter, continuing with after the previous mantra, what is it? Vivikta Deshe, etc. Having seated comfortably, etc. Bhaktya Swagarum Pranamya. After that, Anantaram. Thereafter. These are all, the earlier one is preparation for meditation. Now, what is the proper meditation proper? It says, a lot of people confuse preparation as meditation, and also there are certain techniques are there, useful techniques are mentioned, like even watching one's mind, observing one's mind, observing one's breathing. These are all techniques. These do not constitute the core of meditation. These are very useful techniques. Some people, they take this as meditation. It is not so. These are all very useful techniques. What is the meditation here? What is the content of meditation? What is the core of meditation that is mentioned here? Anantaram. Hritpundarikam. Hridaya Kamalam. Hridaya, the heart, Kamala, the lotus of the heart. Heart which is compared to a lotus. Panchachidra. Chidradi Visheshanam. Pancha Chidra. 5 openings are there in the heart. 5 openings in the heart. I don't know what are the 5 here. I know only 4 blood vessels we study. 4 blood vessels. But I don't know what is the other one. 5th one we have to see. Pancha Chidra, 5 openings. Adi, etc. Visheshanam described in terms of having 5 openings, etc. As soon as the inverted upside down lotus bud, etc. Pancha Chidra Adi Visheshanam Mamsakhandam. Then Virajam Virajaskam, free from Rajas, free from the Rajas and Rajas, the effects of Rajas, like Raga Dvesha, that he explains. Apagata Raga Dveshadikam, Raga Dvesha Adi, likes and dislikes. Adi we say Matsarya, Mada, Lobha, Krodha, all that. Adikam, Apagata, it's all gone away, removed, which these are removed by effort, by prayatna. Apagata Ragadi, Ragadveshadikam. Also, as when one sits for meditation, invoke the Vishuddha Virajaska. One invokes, tells oneself that I am free from Rajas and Tamas. I am free from impurities. This is what one invokes by invocation, deliberately, and also by practice. It is Virajaska. Both are necessary. Invoke, deliberately invoke the Virajas, telling oneself that I am free from impurities. Now that helps. It may be a suggestion just to start with, it may be an auto suggestion, but that's how it's a sankalpa. It's not just a suggestion here, it's a sankalpa here. When I say in meditation, I say that I am free, and then I am shanta, I am peaceful. When we say that, it's a sankalpa. Let me see, let me have the facility, let me grow in the facility to see that I am free within, I am pure within, I am peaceful within. So this a sankalpa. By sankalpa one says so, and also by practice. By prior practice, one sees the freedom from impurity. Virajaskam. Then Vishuddham Vigata Samasta Dukkha Adi Dosham. Samasta, all dukkha adi, all sorrowfulness, etc., all grief, etc., these are all gone. These doshas, these defects which occur in the mind, being subject to grief, subject to sorrow, subject to frustration, depression, all that, like lack of interest, etc., dukkha adi, dosha, all samasta dosha are vigata, gone away. Here again, by sankalpa and by practice, vigata samasta dukkhadi dosham vishuddham. We can take these 2 words as qualifying the Hrit Pundarika, Virajam and Vishuddham, these 2 words as qualifying the heart we can take, or we can take this as qualifying the object of meditation here, that is the content of meditation about which one meditates, that is Atmavastu, Brahmavastu also we can take. After all, Brahmavastu is Viraja and Vishuddha, and that reflects on the pure heart, pure mind. Like even in a clean mirror, right? In a clean mirror, colors and forms reflect as they are in their own pristine purity. The objects reflect. So, too, in a pure heart, Atmavastu can be understood. Right? Ishvara can be understood in its own swarupa. Therefore, Viraja Vishuddha. Okay, Vichintya. Continuing. Vichintya Visheshena Dhyatva. We Visheshena, very clearly, with a focus, Dhyatva, thinking repeatedly, Visheshena, repeatedly, specifically, all these meanings we can give. Dhyatva, meditating upon. Where meditating? Madhye, within, inside the heart. Madhye, in the middle. Madhye means in the middle, here means inside, within. Within what he says, clarifies. Hridaya pundarikasya antaha. Antaha, within the Hridaya pundarika, the lotus called the heart, or the heart known as, seen as the lotus. Hridaya pundarikasya antaha, etc. Vishadam Nirmalam Shuddha Spatika Sankasham Ityartha. Nirmalam, pure, bright, clear, very clear, very clean, very clear. Like he gives an example. Shuddha Spatika Sankasha. Sankasha, brilliant. Having the brilliance like that of a Shuddha Spatika, a pure crystal, without scratches, without impurities, right? If the crystal has scratches, then it really reduces the brilliance of the crystal. Or if it has impurities, then again its brilliance is not there. Transparent, it's very, very transparent. Transparent like a clear crystal. We see very highly valuable gems and crystals. We see even artificially make nowadays. They make artificial gems. They make diamonds. If you see a beautiful diamond, cut diamond, which you see, very brilliant it is. So transparent. Okay. All of the manodharmas are seen as manodharma only, not belonging to Atma. Brihadaranyaka says, Upanishad says, Kamaha, Sankalpaha. Kamaha belongs to mind. Desires belong to mind, not to me. Sankalpa, all nischayas, all decisions. You take a decision that you are going to do this, you are going to be this, and all that. Sankalpa, I will do this. Sankalpa, the decisions. Vichikitsa, doubt. Shraddha, trust. Ashraddha, lack of trust also. Want of trust, lack of trust, or reduction in trust. Ashraddha. Then dhritihi, firmness, right? Steadiness in the mind. Adhritihi, lack of steadiness also, lack of firmness also. Sarvam manaha eva. Brihadaranyaka says, all this belong to mind only, not to me, the Atma. How do we say that? Simple, by the method of Anvaya Vyatireka. And mind is yakta, mind is manifest, and mind has ignorance, and mind has all this. Mind is there, these are there. When the mind is resolved, at least temporarily, say in sleep, kama, sankalpa, etc., there is none, right? So, these belong to the mind only by Anvaya Vyatireka, we see. Like when they do in the medicine, no? Suppose there is one virus, then this virus is present, then it causes cold. And this virus is not there, or a family of viruses. If they are not there, then cold is not there. So virus causes this cold. Anvaya Vyatireka. That's how medicine proceeds. All medicine, no? Anvaya Vyatireka, this is present, causes this. This is not present, this one is free from that. So, like that, all this belong to mind only and not to me, the Atma. Who am I then? I am the one who lights up all. If there is kama in the mind, I illumine that. I the sakshi, I the kutastha atma, chaitanya atma, I illumine that. That I know that I have desires. Right? I know that I have desires. I have desires is known, it is illumined. What is illumined is drishya. It does not belong to the drik. It is not drik dharma, not drik lakshana it is. We have seen this, drik drishya, the different distinction between drik and drishya. So, all this belong to the mind alone. Why is it then, if they belong to mind only, why is it then that I take it as mine, kama as mine, that I am in desire, I am angry, I hate, I am happy, I am grieving, I suffer, right? Why is all this then? Because of this tadatmya, mistaking one for the other. Tadatmya. Tad atma. This is the swarupa. Atma here is swarupa. That nature, that lakshana. Taking the nature of another as belonging to oneself. This is the tadatmya here. The well-known example of this, what is that? Hibiscus, crystalline hibiscus, red flower, spatika. What is it called? Spatika drishtanta, rakta. I forget the phrase. Okay. Spatika drishtanta. The flower, a red flower like hibiscus, is near the crystal, clear crystal, and then the color of the flower is illicitly taken to belong to the crystal. Right? Why so? Because of nearness. Because of absence of the distinction between the clear crystal and the flower obtaining nearby. This tadatmya. So, the flower being near, right? And my not knowing that this redness belongs to the flower, crystal is clear. My not knowing that causes this thinking that the crystal is red in color. Right? Anvayavatireka, there also. Bring the flower, the crystal looks red. Take the flower away, the crystal doesn't have any redness. Anvayavatireka, I see, understand that the redness does not belong to the crystal, even when it looks red. This is the beauty. It's not that the crystal, why should it appear red? What is wrong? What is wrong in it? It is its dharma. It is the nature of the crystal to take on, as it were, to take on the color of whatever that is nearby. It is very dharma. Being transparent, being very clear, it just reflects. It just takes on, as it were, it takes on what is nearby. Suppose my face looks ugly, suppose I think that my face is ugly, and I look in the mirror and I say, what is blessed mirror? Shows me as ugly. This mirror is showing me ugly. Mirror is not showing me ugly. If I am beautiful, mirror shows me as beautiful. If I am not beautiful, the mirror shows it as it is. It is a very mirror's dharma it is, to reflect what is there in before it. So too, the crystal, that is its own dharma. So too, it's the mind's dharma. It is the atma. It is there. It reflects whatever it reflects. That's all. Just because the crystal appears red does not mean that it is red. Herein is all the confusions, all the clashes between ideas, opinions, all come in here. See, the crystal appears red is a vyavaharika fact, but the crystal is red is a mistake. Notice the difference between these two. Crystal appears red, no problem whatsoever. It has to, a clear crystal has to appear red in the presence of a flower, the nearness of a flower. It has to, that's how it has to appear. So crystal appears red is no problem at all whatsoever, but crystal is red is a problem. That's what I have told already. Taking a standpoint as the truth, a valid standpoint as the truth is the problem. With the philosophies, with the religions, right? All that. So here the Vishada, here I am free from Manaha and its dharmas. Even though I seem to take on the mind in our expression, in our thinking sometimes even, I am happy. It's at least for the sake of simplicity of expression, we say that I am happy now. It is not that we say, no, my mind is happy, my mind is sad. We don't normally say so. Sometimes we say that also. My mind is not clear, I am clear, I am not clear, mind is not clear. We do say that. So, a simplicity of expression. When we understand the red crystal, when I say red crystal, I understand it is not red, it appears red. I understand. When we understand that and we use the expression, there is no problem. Mutually, suppose you also know that it is red, it appears red in color. I also know that red, it appears red in color. Then we can say, bring the red crystal. We can say, you are not confused, I am not confused. We may continue to use the expression red crystal even though it is not red in color at all. Right? The vivaksha. I know what when I say red crystal, I know what I mean. You understand what I mean. Right? I don't mean the red crystal, color, a crystal which is red in color. We mean that a crystal which appears red in color. The vivaksha determines the meaning of the expression here. So, I think that in my ignorance of what I am and in my confusion between taking Manaha and Atma as Manaha, and then Dharma of Atma belonging to Manaha, and then Dharma of Manaha belonging to Atma, Anyonya Adhyasa, mutual Adhyasa, mutual superimposition. Right? Dharma, I think I mentioned this, no? Dharma Adhyasa, Dharmi Adhyasa. Right? One dharmi is taken to be another. Like even one dharmi, the rope, the vastu, the object is taken to be a snake. One dharmi is taken to be another. That is dharmi adhyasa. Taking a rope for a snake. Here, rope is a vastu, an entity that is taken for another object, snake. That is dharmi adhyasa. And then there is dharma adhyasa, attributes. Belonging to the rope, I attribute to snake. Belonging to snake, I wrongly impute to the rope. I say it is poisonous. The poisonous nature does not belong to this, but belongs to rope. The snake, the illusory snake. There, I impute to the rope here. And then this is long. When I say the length belongs to the rope, I say that the snake is long. Okay. Dharma adhyasa, mutual adhyasa is there. So to here, when the mind is happy, because of the always obtained together, mind and Chidabhasa are always together, like the mirror and the reflection in the mirror. No? As long as the reflection is there, the mirror also is definitely there. So, like even along with the reflection, the mirror is definitely present. So with the Chidabhasa, the mind is present. And then what happened? Because of their constant presence and because of my lack of viveka, I take the dharma of Manaha as belonging to Atma. Now, there is some distance here between the rope and the snake. There is some distance. What distance? Not a physical distance here, but in terms of reality, there is a distance. What is the distance here? The rope is illusory. The snake is illusory. The rope is vyavaharika, transactional. Right? It belongs to vyavaharika, reality. Whereas the snake is prativasika. There is a distance in terms of their reality. When these two, there is a distance in terms of reality, there cannot be any association at all. One touching the other. The snake touching the rope can never happen. But then when I don't see the distance in terms of reality, then I take one for the other, one's attributes as belonging to the other. The rope's dharma belonging to the snake's dharma belonging to the rope. I confuse this. I take one for the other. So too, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, all these belong to mind. Happiness, unhappiness, sukha, dukkha, all belong to mind, not to me, the Atma. When I see this clearly, when I am able to suspend this unholy identification, right? This impossible combination, that this when I understand that, then I understand that I am Vishada. Like a crystal, I am ever transparent Atma. And when my mind soaks in this understanding of Atma Swarupa, mind also becomes Vishada. In fact, Shastra says mind is Vishada, but then it is sullied because of the presence of Rajas and Tamas. Right? The Rajas and Tamas have their effect on Manaha, mind, which apparently becomes Ashuddha, it becomes impure, tainted, it becomes disturbed. Okay? There was one devotee, one person, Yogi Ramaya was there. He was in Thiruvannamalai Ramana Ashram, he was there. And then somebody asked, it seems somebody asked that yogi, what should I do to make the mind quiet? Yogi said, you don't have to do anything. Only when you do something, mind becomes restless, disturbed. Mind is quiet in its own nature. Because of this presence of Rajas and Tamas, because of karma, because of samskara, whatever, the mind becomes agitated, disturbed, etc. Fluttering and then maybe wandering, all that. But then leave the mind by itself, then make it, see that, leave it in its purity, it is quiet, it is peaceful. Right? So, very interesting. People think, I have to do something to quieten my mind, right? If you don't do anything, then the mind will be quiet. At least the mind will learn to discover, see its own quietude. Okay. Vishadam, transparent, all belong to, in the familiar cinema theatre, in a theatre, in a cinema hall, the white screen is there, the familiar example. And then on this you see an Eastman color film, color movie you see. All real, big screen, and then there is a portrayal of character, different characters, events are there, and then there is struggle is there is a villain is there is a hero, there is a heroine, they go around the trees, right? All that they do. There is happiness, there is tragedy, there is suffering, there is crying, all that is there. And then movie is over and blank, white screen. Earlier white screen, movie colorful, after the movie now again blank screen. What happened? You go and touch the screen, anything happened to the screen? Nothing happened, untouched. The screen remains untouched by all that they projected on it. Okay? Very beautiful example. And if I identify with one character there, Ganga kyun roti hai, one serial, tele-serial. Why is Ganga crying? Ganga is a daughter-in-law. Okay? And then, so all typical Indian tele-serials are there. Endless, they are endless. Soaps are there, family soap. So, Ganga kyun roti hai, 564th episode will continue forever. Ganga roti rahegi, keep on going, keep on crying. So when I identify with Ganga crying, बेचारी को इतना कष्ट दे रहे हैं, बेचारी रो रही है, then I am crying with that. I identify with that. It's one thing to have empathy, that's okay, but then here taking the what belongs to the screen, what belongs to the projection as belonging to mind. Suppose the screen were to think, suppose the white screen were to think, I am Ganga, I am crying, and so, this part of me is the mother-in-law, this part of me is me, the daughter-in-law, etc. So, the identification, tadatmya, because of that one takes oneself as impure. Then the Shastra says there, Kim papam tena na kritam. This is the worst papa. It's a Shastra says, Atmaha, right? Kills Atma, as it were, kills Atma. What is the killing of Atma here? Disowning Atma Swarupa and then taking on Anatma Swarupa as one's oneself is killing Atma. By my very denying Atma Swarupa, I am as good as killing Atma for the time being. Till as long as I deny Atma Swarupa, I don't own it. It's not me. I go on searching for it, eternally searching for it. So, Vishada, I am the one who lights up everything. In my presence, everything shows up. Right? Me being there, everything shows up. And I am the one who illumines everything. And everything is revealed to me also. I am the one who knows everything. I am the Sakshi also. Okay. I am the one who throws light. I am the one who illumines Kama, Krodha, etc. Likes and dislikes, Sukha, Dukkha, etc. I am the one who illumines. And I am the one to whom everything is revealed. That is, I am the revealer, right? And I am the illuminer also. I know that I am happy. That I know that means that I am the one who reveals the presence of Sukha, Dukkha, etc. Therefore, I am untouched by all this. I am the Vishada, ever transparent, ever clear, ever placid, ever pure Vishada. Vishoka, free from all sadness. Vishokam, Vigata Shokaja Dukkham. Vishokam, Shokaja Dukkham. Dukkha, the suffering, the grief born of Shoka, sorrow. Sorrow born grief. Vigata Shokaja Dukkham. Free from the Dukkha, the suffering, the pain born of sorrow. Vishoka, I am free from Shoka. Again, grief, sorrow is not my Swarupa. I am the one who illumines Shoka also. Mind is Shoka, yes, for various reasons, because of karma, samskara, whatever, it is Shoka, but then I am not Shoka. I am free from Shoka. Grief does not belong to me. Sorrow does not belong to me. I am the one who illumines Shoka also. Okay. Achintyam. Now before that, the commentator says, Vishoka means free from grief, free from sorrow. Not only that, he presents it positively. Ananda Purna Hridayam. Smita Ananam Cha Ityartha. Ananda Purna Hridayam, whose heart, Hridaya, is Purna, filled with joy, Ananda, filled with happiness, filled with cheer. Ananda Purna Hridayam, a heart which is full of cheer, cheerful person. Smita Ananam, smiling face. Smita, smiling face. Cheerful face, bright face. Ityartha. They say, the face is the index of the mind, they say. So, in the mind also it reflects. That is why when we see the God forms, they are presented as in a pleasant face, smiling face, etc. Dakshinamurti, if you see, there is a smiling face. Mahavishnu, if you see, smiling face. Krishna, etc. Smita Ananam Cha. This is the Vishoka. Free from Shoka, filled with Sukha. This is the meaning. Ananda Swarupa Ityartha. Okay. With this sort of mind, with this sort of framework, one has to look into Atma Swarupa, Achintya, etc. Okay, we'll leave it for tomorrow. भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते